So in this video I'm looking at importing files into UVLayout. So here we have an object already loaded, and so if I use load here, which has always been there, and load something else, that window is killed and the other object is loaded up in place of the other one. If you want to combine meshes or load in a second mesh, you might want to do that if you want to copy UVs or use packing between the two meshes. So you use import here. So import, and I select the other OBJ I want to load up. So as you can see, there appears to be nothing here, but the problem there is the other mesh is about 1/10 the size and inside this first mesh, so just keep that in mind when you import something and you can't see it. So if you're not sure, you can just hold down space and the middle mouse button and move that side to side, and it will move that other mesh around, so you can just see whether something has been loaded and sort of what size it is. So what also can happen is you might have the two objects are sort of different distances away from the origin, and so you'll end up with something like this. So really you want to bring them close together. So as I said, you can either use space middle mouse button, or CNTR here will center the imported mesh on top of the first mesh. So here it's completely disappeared, apart from a little bit there because it's inside. Now another thing you'll probably want to do is scale this up so it's about equivalent size, because if I'm rotating it there with just space left mouse button, so you might want to do that as well. So if this has got UVs that we want to copy over, pieces of UVs, then it's important they're at a similar scale. Otherwise UVLayout is always trying to match the texture density between bits of the mesh, and so it's important to have this about the same sort of size. So you can either use space right mouse button to scale, or if I click the size button here, what that will do is make the imported mesh here, this pink one, the same size as the other one. Actually it's the same surface area, so it calculates the surface area of the two meshes and scales this accordingly so that the surface areas are matching. So I just sort of position that alongside. If I sort of feel like it needs to be a bit bigger, I can scale it up or down. So once you've happy with the position and size of the imported mesh, you click add here. What that does is sort of bake that into the scene. At the moment this is just a temporary piece of mesh. It's not actually loaded the UVs of that mesh, so we've got to go add here. And so it will kill that window and it'll sort of reload everything with the two objects combined. So now we've got the original mesh, we've got the imported mesh, and all with UVs that we can copy between, or I'll show you the packing here. So what we've got here is, there's our two meshes, there's all our UVs. Now you can see they're sort of all overlapped now. If I wanted to have a clear picture of what's going on in terms of where the UVs for the different objects are, under group now, here under groups, under file, so now we've got this is Gumdrop, which is the imported mesh, and Leon Poly is the original one. So we can select those files and they'll turn green there, and then in U we can sort of see where those green ones are. Probably better is, once you've done the G on them, you can go select, which sort of then picks them, and then under move, scale, rotate, we can move those around with just the E here. That moves it one tile to the right. So now we can clearly see these are the UVs for the imported mesh, and those are the UVs from the original mesh. So now, if we wanted to, we could pack everything. So just combining them all together into one UV map. So you could have just one texture map there, for the two objects and know that they won't overlap. You could share the map. So once you can import objects, there's various things you can do. So that's importing. Now there's another thing that important to know is, let's say we've copied UVs or done the packing or whatever, and we want to save. Now we've modified this mesh and want to save it out. If we just use the normal save all, it will save all of that together in one file. So what you want to do is under groups again, groups, we want to pick this guy, and then I go save marked. So now that I've done that, I can save just this mesh into a new file. You don't even have to do it with groups if you wanted to. If you had various materials like groups, materials, let's say boots. Let's turn that one off. So just the boots, if you wanted to just save out the boots to another mesh, then you can use the save marks now just by picking the material in the material list, or you can just use the usual G key to mark things. So it's like a save selected, so you're just saving the green stuff. So that's the new import tool for importing other meshes. You can import more than one at a time, but I could load another one in now. And the groups here, file groups, how to select the different groups and save marked to save out the separate files.